Hi everyone. So welcome to another video that has tools and techniques and insights and skills to help all of us to constantly be learning how to live in the flow of life and to be calm, cool, and connected and to be the powerful creators that we really are and are always meant to experience ourselves as, and help us to not be in that stressed, worried, or anxious state that really pinches off all of that incredible power that we have available to us when we are our highest selves. So I would like to talk to you today about living intentionally and setting intentions and infusing our day with the power of intentional living. And what does that mean? It means to be living on purpose and to take the energy that we have or what we hope to have as an outcome and to actually infuse that into or place that into the action steps that we take. And the truth is that probably the majority of our days are lived on autopilot. We're so accustomed to a lot of the tasks that we do. We're so accustomed to the things that are in our routine that that may make us not very mindful of being intentional about the things that we do, but we can change that. And if we do change that, we harness a lot of the power of being able to actually have much more aligned and creative day that brings way better results than we would if we were living on autopilot where we're not intentional. So let me give you some examples of this. I recently went to a sound healing workshop with Rick Patir and his fiance Mariko. They're from Prana Sound Studio, and they were at a White Light Productions event. And so when we were there, he gave a really great example of being intentional. He had some singing bowls in front of him, and he said, he hit the crystal singing bowl, and he said, anybody can hit a crystal singing bowl. But it's the intention that he approaches the work that he's doing with, and Mariko approaches her work. It's the intention that they're bringing to it for it to heal and for it to help people to move whatever energetic blocks they have, or open up their hearts in whatever ways are needed for them. That it's the intention that's infused into the process of the drumming and the Tibetan bowls that actually allows that to be what we receive. And so I thought that was such a great example of being intentional. Yes, anybody can hit a Tibetan singing bowl, but the intention that's brought to it, that alignment, really makes such a difference. And I'm thinking of another example too. Actually, my friend Tina, who owns Hand and Stone Massage in, I guess that's Wisconsin, or Setauket, she would tell me about how she would make sometimes like a shake for her daughter, and how she would intentionally put ingredients into it that would be helpful to her daughter's body. And as she did so, she would be very specific with her daughter about why those ingredients were going in. So she'd say, I'm putting these greens in because this will be good for your this part of your body. And I'm putting these beets in because this will be good for this part of your body. And she would ask her daughter as she drank it to be very aware of and intentional as she was drinking it, to say, this is healing my body, this is helping my body. And that takes a very ordinary shake with good nutrients and elevates it to a shake that has this important alignment that has been infused into it about how it's really going to affect the body. Because remember, how we're thinking is really influencing how we experience everything. So how can you do this? Live very intentionally and infuse the energy that you desire and the outcome that you want to get from it into what you do. Well, of course, it requires some consciousness, not being on autopilot. So we have to be aware of doing this. And you might even start with how you wake up in the morning. So when you open your eyes in the morning and you're laying in your bed, if you're not already saying to the world, to yourself, good morning, Thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for this mattress that I slept on. Thank you for the warmth of these blankets. If you're not already doing that, you might want to begin that. It's a great way to start your day. But then you might set an intention. It's my intention to be of service today. It's my intention to have a beautiful, miraculous, magnificent day. It's my intention to have a great morning with my kids, to have a wonderful breakfast, to have fun with them, to have good conversation, to have ease and flow as they make their way out the door to go to school. And that might be very different from how your mornings typically go. You might very often have very stressed mornings and maybe cranky kids and grumpy kids because they had to wake up early and they're going to school, or everybody rushing out the door. But what might be different if you set the intention, you walked into it with the experience, expecting to experience that morning very differently with them. Perhaps it would go very differently, and perhaps also by the time they get to school, they might bring that energy to their friends. And that is, of course, how we change the world, is with these small steps that we make that connect us to other people, and the energy keeps going. Well, what are other ways that you could really live more intentionally? So let's say you want to bring more prosperity into your life. And of course, when we want more money, it's usually because we're noticing the lack of it. And once we notice the lack of it, we get kind of hooked on that, and we get focused on it. And feeling the lack of anything is not the way to bring more of it into our lives. And so I was just talking to one of my positive energy groups about, if you want to have more abundance in your life, try to notice something in your life that is abundant. Let's say toothpicks when you're cooking and you open the drawer and there's so many of them, or maybe it's ice cubes when you open the tray and there's so many of in there, or pennies. You have so many pennies in your pocket or pennies in your piggy bank. And if you notice the things that you do feel really abundant about, like how many there are of them, you can say, as I notice the things that are very abundant in my life, it is my intention that this brings even more abundance into my world. As I notice the ways that I'm blessed, it is my intention that this brings even more money into my life. What a wonderful thing to do, and easy to do, because it's easy to notice how many ice cubes we have. That's setting the intention, being very clear about the outcome that we want. And what's really fun about setting intentions in our lives is that we can do it in any way. We can say, I'm holding my husband's hand while we sit here and watch TV because it's my intention that he feel really loved. Or I go in at night and I give my children kisses on the cheek when they're asleep because it's my intention that I'm pouring the love energy of them having beautiful dreams tonight. You can set the intention for anything. As you walk into, let's say, a social gathering or down the hallway at work, you can say, it is my intention that as I pass by people, people feel loved, or they feel happy in my presence, or they feel confident, that that energy is pouring off of me and that other people get to receive it. As I walk through the room, I'm like a breath of fresh air for other people. That can be an intention that you set so that other people are receiving the benefits of your great energy. So listen, there's a million ways that you can do this. The most important thing is for you to have fun with it and just realize the power that's there. You can go through life unintentionally, or you can intentionally try to infuse your life with the energy of the outcomes that you want to have. So why not do the latter? You're going through life either way. Go to the Soul Cure for Anxiety or Beth Miller Meditations to get your free meditations and all the other free tools and skills and everything that I have on there. And I just want to wish you a beautiful day. It was my intention that, and I said it before we actually began this, before I began the video, it was my intention today that as I connect with you through these videos, that you realize just how powerful you are and that you recognize that you are the God of your own universe. Be well. Have a beautiful day.